Since we've been growing our tropical garden, I've noticed that we've been getting a lot more birds in the garden. I think it's mainly because we've got a stream running, um, and they like the sound of the water. I've had a small bird feeder up for a while, but I thought I'd go for something a little bit more extravagant, and I bought this one from Hudson's Plant Centre, but they're on sale everywhere. It was about 29 quid, I think, so it was quite reasonably priced, and it's got the capability of having four different types of food on it, and I thought I'd give it a go and have a sort of centre spot so I could watch the birds feeding. Is one of the things I've really started to enjoy, to be honest. Now it's very simple to construct, and I haven't cemented it in or anything. I've just hammered the stake in that they give you, and the pole just fits on top of that. Now I've got four different types of food. There's mealworms, these peanuts, which is sort of like an ordinary sort of dried peanut, and then I've got these fat balls, and we've also got some straightforward bird seed, everyday bird seed, and this one's from Tesco's, but you can get them from anywhere. Now the fat balls, you go in this bigger container so that they can sort of get their beaks in and peck at it. And it's made of suet, sort of animal fat, and it's mixed with seeds and grains, or even insects, some of them. And the blue tits and starlings and robins and sparrows, even woodpeckers seem to like it apparently. Now the peanuts, I think I put in the wrong container. But you only get one container which has got this little lip on to stop the seeds falling on the ground. And these mealworms, I think I should have put in that other container. Now you can these are dried ones. You can get live ones, but the dried ones apparently you can soak before you put them in the summer, so that they can. It's easy for them to feed their chicks with them. And then I've got this ordinary bird seed mix of just ordinary seeds. Now, what I didn't realise when I put them on, you also get this water tray, and there's another flat tray feeder for the birds, which are too big to go in the little perches that's on each of the containers. Now, I had to move the water tray round because they're very messy eaters, some of these birds, and the I moved it round so the water tray was underneath the fat ball, because when it was underneath the seeds, they just kicked all the seeds into the water, and I was a bit worried. I'm a bit paranoid about infecting the birds with disease if stuff goes off in the heat. And now you can see here that this is after day one. They love those mealworms, and it seems to be the starlings just absolutely adore them. But this is the problem with the bowl here. I had to move that round. It just filled up with seed in the end. Now the peanuts, I'm going to move into the seed, the one that I've got the seed in, because I'm a bit worried about the birds choking on those. I didn't realise that that's what you're supposed to do with these things, and they want to go in that centre one there. Where the seed is. So once that seed's gone, I will be pouring the peanuts into that, because they like to chip at them with their beaks rather than swallow them whole. The other thing is all of these feeders will have to be washed out pretty regularly to prevent disease and spreading on bacteria. Now, for those of you who have been following the channel, you'll know that I put a lot of soil from the front garden onto the back garden where I've been digging the drive out, and it's this clayey mess we've got, and this is the layer of clay which has come from the front garden. You can see it is like a seam there, and I've got about 6 inches of this, 4 to 6 inches on the back garden, and when it dries out it goes rock hard like this, and sort of it's really pretty unpleasant stuff. So I've been attacking it from a couple of different angles. Firstly, we've decided, because it's only really in the top 6 inches, this clay layer, to add perlite, quite a heavy perlite mix to the soil, especially in this very clayey bit right down the bottom of the garden. And you basically dig it in. It's a manual process, and it helps with the drainage. It's kind of like a volcanic thing which they heat up, I think, to about 1,000 degrees centigrade or something, and then it sort of swells up and stays in your soil. And it's a mechanical process of helping making little gaps in the soil so that the water can drain through. Now, the other thing I've been doing when I've been planting, I've been doing this quite a heavy mix of perlite and compost to add the drainage, help the drainage of each plant. Now, with this perlite stuff, it's not very nice. It's very dusty, so you can see I'm wearing a mask there just as a bit of a safety precaution. Now, to actually try and cure the problem chemically, we've been using liquid gypsum. Now, it's quite easy to use. You can get it in a powder form, but the liquid form is much easier to use. You don't have to dig it in. You just mix it up in a watering can, and you need about 250 mils for a 5 litre watering can, and this will do 6 square meters. And basically how it works is the clay tends to have a lot of sodium on the particles, and this is what makes it sticky, the sodium. And the gypsum replaces the sodium with calcium, and the sodium is sort of flushed away when it rains and what have you. And once it's displaced, the sodium, it becomes soluble and can be sort of leached away. And it doesn't alter the pH of the soil or anything. It doesn't harm the plants. But I've done this, it's been quite warm when I did this, so you sort of water it on, and then I watered the leaves with just pure water, just ordinary water, tap water, to wash any of the deposits off the leaves of the plants. But this stuff, you have to use it quite regularly. It's once a week for 3 to 4 weeks, and then reduced to monthly, and after a couple of months reduced to 2 to 3 times in the season.